Good morning, Tukwila Tigers. I hope that your third day of being at home is off to a good start. Welcome back to Mrs. White's At Home Read Alouds. Remember to make sure you have a pencil and paper or a sibling or adult to talk to, because throughout the book I will be asking you some questions. When I ask you these questions, you're going to see this sign that says pause, time to write or discuss, and you'll know that that means to pause the video and either talk through or write down your responses. All right, Tigers, today we are going to read some nonfiction, and this book is called Deadly Predators. So I'm looking at the cover first, and I see Deadly Predators. I see a picture of a pretty scary looking predator here, maybe a wolf. The author is Melissa Stewart. Okay, all right. Let's keep looking. Oh, okay, here's the table of contents. The table of contents can be so helpful when we're looking at a book for the first time. So it says hungry hunters, dogs in the wild, cats in the wild, polar power, mini monsters, ocean hunters, super predators, snakes, lizards, and crocodiles, perfect predators, stump your parents, and a glossary. All right, Tigers, before we start reading, let's think about just looking at the cover and the table of contents. Let's activate our background knowledge. So what I want to know is, what do you already know about predators, and what would you expect to learn from this book based on the cover and table of contents? Go ahead and press pause. Okay, so now that your background knowledge is activated and you're thinking about all those things you already know about predators, and you've made some predictions about what you might learn in this book, let's get started on the first section of this book, called Hungry Hunters. And when I see we have some text features here, this caption says grizzly bears eat fish and other small animals. They usually weigh 300 to 500 pounds. The largest bears can weigh 800 pounds. Wow. Wolves chase, sharks attack, bears lunge. All these animals are predators. They're all after the same thing, meat. They need it to live and grow. Ooh, and there's a text feature here to help us with vocabulary. Word bite. Predator. An animal that hunts and eats other animals. Oh, here's a new section. I can tell because there's a new title here. Dogs in the wild. Wolves are members of the dog family. So are foxes, coyotes, and African wild dogs. All of these dogs are powerful predators. Big ears help wild dogs hear their prey. Sensitive noses help the dogs sniff out food. Wild dogs also have large teeth and strong jaws. They can kill prey larger than themselves. Here's another word bite to help us with vocabulary. Prey is an animal that is eaten by another animal. Let's take a look at these pictures. See at the top here, a coyote has 42 teeth. Some can tear flesh. Others can crush bone. Ooh. This one here, African wild dogs hunt in packs. You can see kind of a group of them there with what looks like maybe a deer or an elk. And this one says, an Arctic fox stalks its prey. So stalks means like follows. Cats in the wild. 36 kinds of cat live in the wild, and they're all expert hunters. The rusty spotted cat is the smallest. It weighs less than a half-gallon jug of milk. Wow, that's pretty light. Here's a little blurb about them here. The rusty spotted cat lives in India. At night, it hunts for birds, mice, lizards, and frogs. What is the biggest cat in the world? The Siberian tiger. It can weigh more than 3 large men. This says Siberian tigers can eat up to 80 pounds of meat at one time. When up here, there's a joke. Let's see if you can get it. What happened when the tiger swallowed a ball of yarn? It had mittens. All right, still talking about cats on this page. It says female lions hunt in a group. They work together to get a meal. Now I can see this one has some blood on his face, like he's just eaten a big meal. Most cats live alone, but lions live in a family group called a pride. The males protect the group. The females do all the hunting. And a vocabulary word here, pride, a family group of lions. And it looks like we're switching to a new kind of cat here. I can tell looking at the picture. A cougar has long, strong legs, but it can't run fast or far. It sneaks up on prey. Then it jumps on the animal and bites its neck. Ooh, cougars are a cat that live in Washington. Cougars have sharp teeth. They chop prey into bite-sized bits. Polar power. The polar bear is the largest bear in the world. It's also the most deadly. Polar bears use their sharp teeth and huge paws to catch prey. They hunt alone. Polar bears mostly eat seals snatched from holes in the ice, but sometimes they eat small animals too. This looks like a polar bear chasing his prey. A polar bear has one of the world's best noses. It comes in handy when sniffing out dinner. We have another joke at the top here. What do you call a polar bear with earmuffs? Do you know? Whatever you want. It can't hear you. All right, tigers. I want you to pause and think for a second. And I want you to think about, what do you notice about how the text is organized so far? Why do you think the author decided to organize it this way? Go ahead and press pause. So what I notice about how this text is organized so far is it seems to be organized like almost in chapters by like type of predator, right? So at first we had like a little introduction here, and then we had dogs in the wild, and then we had cats in the wild, and now we have bears, right? So it seems like so far this text is organized by type of predator. I wonder if maybe the author did that so that if you were using this book to learn about a specific type of predator, that you would know exactly which page to flip to. Let's continue reading. This one is called Mini Monsters. These predators may be small, but they sure are deadly. A giant water bug. A giant water bug hunts fish and frogs, snakes and snails. It jabs prey with its mouth parts. Then it sucks out the animal's insides. The wind scorpion. This little critter has huge jaws and runs like the wind. It chases down termites, beetles, and even lizards. This one caught a cricket. A short-tailed shrew. This shrew's spit is full of venom. The shrew uses the spit to paralyze its prey. Do you know what the word paralyze means? So if the prey is paralyzed, that means the prey can't move anymore. So that venom makes it so that animal can't move. Army ants. A group of army ants looks like a moving carpet. The group can be as wide as a street. It can be as long as a football field. The ants kill and eat everything in their path. Wow, as long as a football field. That's pretty crazy. Oh, here's some words to help us. Oh, they tell us what the word paralyze means. To make unable to move. Venom is a liquid some animals make that is used to kill or paralyze other animals. Ocean hunters. The great white shark can go weeks without eating, but when it gets hungry, look out. The fierce fish has up to 3,000 teeth. It uses them to grab fish, seals, sea lions, and dolphins. Those teeth look pretty sharp. This says a great white shark attacks from below. It may push up with so much power that it rises out of the water. This page, I can tell by the pictures, it looks like it's going to be about orca whales. This says orcas attack gray whale. Orcas have two ways of hunting. They can surround a large animal and attack as a group. Then they share the meal. This says orcas are called killer whales. Why? Because they eat all kinds of prey: birds, sea turtles, seals, and even sharks. Orcas can also push a lot of fish into a tight ball. Then the orcas take turns eating the prey. This is called a bait ball. All right, tigers. On the next page, the author does some super predators. So they list the biggest predator. It's hard to see, huh? The biggest predator, the fastest on land. Let's see if I can make that easier to see for you. The biggest predator, the fastest on land, the strangest predator, the fastest in the air. I'm sorry, these are really hard to see. The most beautiful predator, and the longest jumper. So I want you to take a minute and think, do you know the answers to any of these already? Pause and write down the answers if you do. All right, let's find out what the answers are. Super predators. The biggest predator is a blue whale, is longer than 2 school buses, but it eats shrimp-like critters no bigger than your pinky. Wow, longer than 2 school buses. That's pretty big. The fastest on land. A cheetah can run as fast as a car on the highway. It's faster than any prey. Fastest in the air. How does a peregrine falcon catch prey? By diving through the air 3 times faster than a car on the highway. The strangest predator? A fossa looks like a cross between a squirrel and a kitten. It hunts lemurs, birds, crabs, snakes, and more. The longest jumper. A cougar has powerful back legs. When it jumps from a high place, this cat can jump the length of a pickup truck. Wow. The most beautiful. A sea anemone looks like a flower, but it has tentacles with venom. They can kill fish or shrimp in seconds. So this part tells us what a tentacle is. A tentacle is an arm-like part of an animal used to feel things or catch food. Did you already know any of these? Snakes, lizards, and crocodiles. A black timber rattlesnake swallows a mouse. Snakes kill their prey in different ways. Some snakes have venom in their fangs. The venom paralyzes the animals they catch. Then the snakes swallow the prey whole. Other snakes don't use venom. The anaconda grabs an animal with its teeth, then it curls around the prey and squeezes it to death. Wow. Many lizards are small enough to sit in your hand, but the Komodo dragon is as big as a surfboard. The giant lizard has 60 sharp, jagged teeth. Its spit is even more deadly. It's full of germs that can kill prey in one bite. This says the Komodo dragon is the biggest lizard alive today. It eats birds, bird eggs, monkeys, wild boar, goats, deer, and more. Wow. Here's another joke for you. What do you get when you cross a kangaroo and a Komodo dragon? Do you know? A leaping lizard. How does a hungry crocodile catch its prey? It lies in the water and waits. The patient hunter can wait for hours. When prey passes by, the croc grabs it, pulls it underwater, and waits for it to drown. What does a crocodile eat? Almost anything. Fish, birds, snake, deer, wildebeest, which is what this animal is, and more. That looks like a scary scene. Perfect predators. Crocs, cheetahs, wolves, sharks, and snakes are some of the most awesome predators on the planet. But they don't hunt for fun. They hunt to feed themselves and their families. You can see this family of cheetahs here. Cheetahs are the fastest animals on land. They eat animals such as gazelles, impalas, hares, and young wildebeest. All right, at the end of this book, there's a little quiz. It's called Stump Your Parents. Let's see if you and your parents or a family member can answer these questions. This first question says, how much meat can some tigers eat? A, 10 pounds, B, 20 pounds, C, 40 pounds, or D, 80 pounds? Do you know? The answer is D, 80 pounds. We learned that at the beginning of the book that the Siberian tiger can eat up to 80 pounds of meat. All right, this next one says blank are members of the dog family. So which of these would fill in that blank correctly? A, wolves, B, foxes, C, coyotes, or D, all of the above? Do you know? The answer is D. Every single one of those animals are members of the dog family. Number 3, which kind of bear is the biggest in the world? A, a brown bear, B, a black bear, C, a polar bear, or D, a sun bear? Think about what you learned in this book to help you. The answer is C, a polar bear. Number 4, which predator sucks out the insides of its prey? Do you already know the answer? Let's look at the options. A, a rusty spotted cat, B, a giant water bug, C, a peregrine falcon, or D, a crocodile? The answer is B, a giant water bug. We learned about the giant water bug earlier in the book. All right, number 5. Orcas are a kind of blank. Which of these words would correctly finish that sentence? A, fish, B, whale, C, insect, or D, reptile? I bet you all got that one, right? Orcas are a kind of whale. The answer is B. Number 6, which of these animals does not hunt in groups? A, the polar bear, B, the orca whale, C, the army ant, or D, the lion? What do you think? The correct answer is A, the polar bear. Which predator has the most teeth? A, a gray wolf, B, a giant water bug, C, a great white shark, or D, the Komodo dragon? Do you recognize those teeth? The answer is C, a great white shark. How did you do, Tigers? I bet you got most of them right. The last page is the glossary. So do you remember what these words mean? Paralyze. The pictures give you clues. Paralyze means to make unable to move. Predator is an animal that hunts and eats other animals. Prey is an animal that is eaten by another animal. Pride is a family group of lions. A tentacle is an arm-like part of an animal used to feel things or catch food. Venom is a liquid some animals make that is used to kill or paralyze other animals. All right, Tukwila Tigers, I hope you enjoyed reading about deadly predators. Think about 3 things that surprised you in this book that you could teach to someone else. Go ahead and write them down. 3 things that surprised you in this book that you could teach to somebody else. All right, Tigers. Once again, I hope you enjoyed Deadly Predators. And I hope you tune in again to Mrs. White's At Home Read Alouds. Bye. Have a great day.